Hello, everybody, and welcome to the DECA Dialogues. We're sitting down with members from all around as they share their unique journeys. From first competitions to future careers, hear how DECA is building the leaders of tomorrow today. Get inspired, get connected. This is DECA Dialogues. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first guest of DECA Dialogues, Peyton Wormer. Peyton, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, Miles. How are you?
I'm doing really great. I'm doing really great. Now, Peyton, would you care to share your role in DECA with those who may not know?
Yeah. So currently I'm serving on the first state officer team for Indiana Collegiate DECA.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. How's that going so far?
Going very well. It's been a little bit different
Okay.
than my usual DECA experience,
Hmm.
but it's been good. With us being the first year, we had some mapping out things for the future that have been kind of cool. But overall, it's been a really exciting and different and challenging, but challenging
Yeah.
in a good way opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, um, just kind of how did you let's take a step back, so to speak. Let's kind of go back a little bit. What did DECA first look like to you? Like how did you get into it, if you will?
Yeah, so it's actually, a funny story. So I was freshman class president of my high school, right?
Okay.
The student government advisor was actually the DECA advisor too.
Okay.
He kind of didn't really give me a choice on whether or not I was going to do DECA. I
Okay.
was in. I competed in career development for the project management event.
All right.
I got dead last at state, dead last,
Okay.
but dead last was third. So I ended up advancing to international competition for my
That's awesome.
freshman year
That's
in
awesome.
Atlanta, and ever since, it's always been about DECA. I did terrible, but something good came out of it, and
Hmm.
every year I just tried to do a little bit better. So that's
Yeah,
kind of how I got started with DECA.
absolutely. That's very interesting. That's a really cool story. So you did it in high school, is
Yes.
what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did it all 4 years of high school.
That's really cool.
Competed in the career development, project
Okay.
management, and then also business law and ethics.
Okay, nice, nice, awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I also did. You don't hear the tune too much around here. You either hear a lot of, I just did it in college, or I never, my school never had it or anything. But
Mhm.
then, I also did it. I didn't do it 4 year. I only did it about 3 years. I started
That's
sophomore year
okay.
up until senior year. But it's a little bit different. I
Yeah.
mean, they're kind of similar, but at least how I would describe collegiate DECA is it's you kind of like high school DECA kind of prepares you and gives you the tools that you need to kind of get further in your life. But I feel like collegiate DECA gives you the experiences to like get out into the real world now, so to speak. If you kind of
Yeah.
see what I'm getting at there. Um, yeah, if I had to pick between the two, I mean, again, they're all so similar in their ways, but I kind of like Collegiate DECA. I'm gonna be honest with you, and that could just be because I like a DECA in general. I mean, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I was kind of a similar too, and I was in business classes, and my business teacher was like, you got to do DECA. It didn't necessarily force me to do it, but it was kind of like, not
Yeah.
like a you should. It's like you kind of gotta. But I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did because it's a really
No,
cool
me too.
it's a really
Yeah.
cool opportunity. So, kind of now, fast forwarding a little bit. Where you at college now? What college are you attending?
I'm currently, as you can see by the flag back here, I'm currently attending the University of Notre Dame, but I'm
Nice.
actually not a business major.
Okay.
So I'm currently studying biosciences, biological sciences, and Spanish.
Oh, fun.
So a little bit different than the average DECA member, but
Okay.
I think it gives me a really good insight as
Yeah,
to how we can bring those skills into other areas of our life as well.
absolutely. That's really cool, actually. I'm really thankful that you have that experience because as a difficult thing of being president of the technical college in Alexandria is trying to get people other than people in
Yeah,
the business division, right? Like everybody has this, set mindset that it's like, oh, it's a business club. You have to be in business to do it, but you don't. Like, I mean, that's a clear look at that.
100%.
Look at that. I mean, you're like a state officer. I mean, you're not like the standard like, oh, you got to take business management, sales marketing, all this other stuff, right? So I think that's a great example. I think that's really inspiring. That's awesome. If I may ask, kind of pivoting away from deck a little bit, what
Yeah.
what prompted you to choose that career path?
Oh, I always wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
Since I was a kid, I always was like fascinated by medicine and like the problem solving behind it.
Hmm.
I was always very into like engineering, so you'd think I'd go into engineering, but like in medicine, I see medicine in like med school,
Yeah.
and being a medical doctor as like my own way of like being an engineer, being ingenuitive, like research. So just my way to like bring some like light into the world.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really inspiring, Peyton. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. How have the first couple of months or weeks or however long you've been doing it of DECA been for
Yeah.
you this year?
I would actually say they've been wonderful, but they've been challenging.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if you knew this, but I served on the 79th state officer team for Indiana High School DECA last
Okay.
year.
Wow,
Um,
congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, and that was super fun, but it was pretty much like set in stone. Like I knew what my responsibilities were. It was the
Hmm.
79th team. They're on team
Yep.
80 now. Like I knew what I was going to be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we started the collegiate, our inaugural year this year. And there was no like guideline.
Yeah.
There was no Indiana Collegiate DECA. So it's been very different, but
Hmm.
it's allowed us to try new things. And by us, I mean my state officer team,
Yeah, of
to try
course.
things a little bit differently, and make a association that we are proud of and like
Yeah.
represents what we want to see out of our future.
Yeah, that's super awesome. That's super cool. And I'm just going to throw a little plug in. If nobody has seen it yet, you got to see what these guys are doing. All right. It's absolutely amazing. Got to say it's inspiring. I love seeing, especially on the side of social media too, just the way you kind of vamped it up. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's super cool. The articles you're putting out and everything. For the first time, I got to say you are off to a really great start. And
Thank
there's
you. I appreciate that.
you're setting that bar kind of high for the people that are coming afterwards. I tell you what, it's super, super cool. So, kind of looking forward toward the future here and talking about your future goals and aspirations and whatnot. How has DECA given you the tools to kind of follow that career path and kind of feel more confident that it's like, okay, this is something I want to
Mhm.
do, and I can take this and apply it, so to speak.
Yes. Okay. So not to sound too much like a salesperson, but like I know when I talk with like our potential sponsors, I
Hmm.
always talk about, in high school, I went to a really small farm school.
Hmm.
If I wouldn't have had DECA, I wouldn't have been able to like get the college preparation skills that I
Hmm.
would have potentially needed to go to like, the top 20 university I'm at now.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that without the international connections I got through DECA in high school, that I wouldn't be where I'm at now, potentially starting a chapter at my college.
Yeah. That's
Whether or not
awesome.
that's going to happen, like
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. I'm
Hmm.
excited to see what can happen.
Okay. Getting a little
But yeah,
sneak
I
peek on it.
definitely,
I love that.
yes, yeah. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I could see it going both ways. So super excited about that opportunity.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would just say DECA really breaks down barriers that students have.
Hmm.
So whether it's like a barrier of where you live or how you think, I think DECA really offers, the ability for you to just practice and hone your skills so that you can be prepared for your next step in your future.
I love that. I love that. I tell you what, that didn't even feel like a sales pitch at all. That just felt like it was you were just out there speaking truth. I love that. I love that so much. Kind of touching, just curious out of my personal curiosity here. Are you heading down to the Engage conference in October?
Yes, yes. Eric, Nelly, and I, who all serve on the inaugural year of our state officer team, we all will be down and engaged this year, and we're all super excited.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be super pumped.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be awesome.
thinking of heading down there too. Yeah, I'm excited. I've never been to Tampa before.
Oh, really? That's
Never been
super
to Tampa.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I just recently went to Florida for the first time this summer actually. So it was like, now we're going back there a little bit, which is really weird because like I feel like everybody that I talk to, like if
Yeah,
they have gone anywhere, it's got to be Florida, right?
yeah. That's where we vacation.
Exactly. And it's like I'm 19 years old and I'd never been to Florida before. Like it was kind of like I feel like I got to cross that off the bucket list.
100%.
Yeah. And I think that's another great thing about DECA is that it gives you the opportunity to explore new places, like and network with people, like you mentioned before, like having that opportunity to network and connect and see and experience these new experiences. And I'm personally am super excited for Louisville, Kentucky. I tell you what, ICDC next year. I'm pretty pumped about that. That's going to be.
I think we're gonna see some good things this year.
I think so too. I think so too. I definitely noticed, and not to sound cheesy here, but I definitely noticed a lot of members across the country and beyond have really gone the extra this year.
Yeah.
I feel like just again, not to be cheesy, but then I mean that is that is the thing this year is going the extra. And I think I've seen that. I'm
Yeah.
scrolling through and I'm looking on deck and I'm reading these stories and it's like, wow, these people are really, they're going after it. And it's really cool. It's stories like yours and others around you. It's inspiring. It's inspiring for other people to follow their dreams and to follow their future aspirations and whatnot. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I would totally agree.
I agree. I agree. So, you talked a little bit about founding a chapter a little bit, or kind of thinking about it a little bit. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that, if you want?
Yes, let me talk a little bit.
Okay.
So right now, like I said, Indiana Collegiate being
Yeah.
new, I've
Hmm.
worked really hard to help other people found
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
chapters. We're trying to grow our membership. I think we're looking at some pretty good numbers for the
Okay.
year, actually, a little
I
bit
love
higher
that.
than what we had projected.
That's
So I've
awesome.
definitely thought about holding the reins and starting my own chapter, but
Hmm.
I'm not 100% sure that, I want to give everything I can to the state
Hmm.
at this time. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but it'll be interesting to definitely see what'll happen.
Absolutely. That is going to be really exciting. That is going to be really exciting. I like that. Yeah. That's another cool thing. To be able to say that you've founded a chapter, or at least
Yeah.
help others to it. And I've kind of seen
Mhm.
that. I've seen that a lot. Like I was talking about, I've seen that a lot. The work that you guys are doing, it's incredible. It's inspiring, and it's like you keep it coming, right? Like I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure I don't just speak for myself here, but I'm taking that inspiration. I'm kind of there are people that are watching, and it's like, oh, you kind of take some notes. You're like, this is kind of cool. How can we find a way to incorporate this into our chapter? And I feel that's just another way that helps everybody
Totally.
stay connected with DECA. That's a really cool opportunity, Peyton. Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
Yep.
So do you have any other like just fun stories with DECA? I like to ask you just to kind of if there's something, you've been in it for several years, if there's one thing that was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of fun or this is kind of funny or an interesting fact. If you want, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say a lot of my stories would have to do with some of the international
Okay.
conferences. There's some stories I can't share
Okay.
because it would
Okay.
get some people that I know in trouble. But I would definitely say for anyone who's looking to join DECA, I think the fact that you get to take a vacation, for pretty cheap, is definitely a good reason.
Yeah.
I know personally in my experience, I rode a Ferris wheel in the middle of Atlanta. And I would say just fun stories like
Yeah.
that, the things that you get to do that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do outside or in a different association.
I love that. I love that. That's really cool. I 100% completely agree with you on that, Peyton. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I like to keep it snappy, short, and sweet.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
if there's anything else that you have to add, anything that you'd like to leave with anybody that's watching, the floor is yours.
Awesome. I'd actually like to ask you a question if you wouldn't mind.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah. What are you hoping for like the next year to look like? Maybe with your series or maybe just with your chapter? Like what are your goals of the year?
That's an excellent question. I appreciate that, Peyton. I think I'd say one of my big goals, at least with starting the series, is just to kind of help like connect. I feel like something that's really cool and the potential is there is that there's thousands of members in this club, but it just at points it just feels like we're so far away, because I mean
Yeah.
physically we are, right? Like I'm hundreds of miles from where you are right now, but it's like, if we could find ways to connect and learn from each other, and then just use that to grow not only our chapters and help the other members, but also ourselves too. I feel like together, together, if we put all of our thoughts together, all of our skill sets, and learn from each other, together we can all truly achieve great things. And I think that's one of the things that I'd like to get out of this year, and at least leave people and myself with something that's like, okay, I can use that in my life, and or at least get inspired, if you will.
Yeah. No, that's super incredible.
Thank you.
I know I appreciate that. Love to share ideas with fellow,
Thank you.
DECA members. So it's really, inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that so much, Peyton. I want to thank you. I want to thank you again so much for coming on, leaving us with some thoughts, telling us about the year, and we're wishing you the best of luck. I'm excited to keep seeing what you guys are gonna do, what you're gonna do, and I know you're gonna do great things. I'm excited to see you in Florida too. I tell you what.
Yes, yes, Tampa. It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be a great time. Well, folks, That's all we have for the DECA Dialogues. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next one. We got some awesome people lined up, and if you wanted to be on, DM me. We'd love to have you on. So thank you so much for listening. Have a good one.